Hi again, it's Coach Miller from BTB Lax, and what I want to talk about today is how to plan a practice. So I definitely have some experience in that, and seeing that I coached in college at Tufts and Georgetown, now I coach at Gonzaga, and at BTB Lax we plan a lot of practices, regularly. And there's some elements that I think are key to every practice that you're going to plan. So first and foremost, we tell our guys all the time is you got to get organized. So you got to make sure you're on the same page with a lot of elements of a practice plan, that being time, when it starts, what drills are doing when, where coaches are going to be, what players are expected to wear. That's a big one. What time, it's going to get over. Are you going to have any post, practice meetings, film sessions, whatever it may be. It needs to be clearly stated to your team what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and what your expectations are. That actually goes with the third bullet too, is you're going to have expectations on the practice field and involved in all other elements of your team, in the film sessions, in the way they travel, in the way that they're expected to be places, but specifically in terms of your expectations with the practice. How do you want your players, going about these drills? How do you want them to be focused? How do you want them, to execute? You need to make sure that your expectations are clear and they know what is expected of them. Otherwise, people out there might be lost. So your coaches, your other assistant coaches need to know that too. So the expectations, could be, I expect these kids to compete. I expect them to be focused for, 90 minutes for this particular practice. As soon as they step on the field, they need to be ready to go and not have any of these, distractions from outside activities or whatever it may be, schoolwork, life in general. When they step on the field, they got to be ready to go. So those are some of the expectations that the coaches need to be, make sure that those are crystal clear. I like having a daily theme, a fundamental, whatever it may be, a saying that you can, coach up to your guys or your team, that basically just harps on, whatever it is that you want to focus on that day. So say you're playing a big rival coming up and you think that, ball protection is going to be security is going to be a big, element to that game. So maybe the daily theme for that day will be like stick protection, and even going a step further, like maybe every time you catch the ball, you're going to roll away from pressure and take that extra step and make that good pass, whatever it may be. I like, incorporating a daily theme into each practice and communicating that with your team. Along those same lines, some coaches have the practice plan, laid out on a chalkboard in the locker room. They might be able to email it to the team. They might have it posted on the team bulletin board, whatever it may be, so they know what's going on. And then on that same, wherever you post it, you can have that daily theme up top. All right, so specifically, once you get those things, out of the way, then, okay, what elements of the practice do you want to focus on, or what do you think should be included? And I think that in most practices that I've been around and that we do, is there's got to be some sort of stick work component in there where you're working on your stick, getting the kids loose, getting them, throwing with those correct fundamentals like throwing and catching, because it's all about throwing and catching. If you can't do that, you can't win games. And, it's just, you need to work on that stick work constantly. So you can have some sort of stationary, stick work, and then you can build that up to a full field situation where you're doing, some sort of full field stick work, clearing drill or whatever it may be, just getting the kids up and running, making those different passes along the full field. Then, moving on, you can break off into positional groups. So you can have the attackmen go with a certain coach, the defensive guys go with a D coach, the middies split off, the goalies. It depends on how many coaches you have, or how specific you can be with the positional breakoffs. But, if you have that luxury, you definitely want to take advantage of that, because the smaller groups you have, per coach, gives them more attention, gets them, better at what they're trying to do. And no matter what, after you go through the elements of, working on the stick work, getting some full field work in, maybe getting some positional in, maybe then you got to start to compete. You got to either scrimmage or do some sort of drills that you're getting after it and they're competing and they're just getting used to competing all the time, so that when they get in the game situations, they're ready to go. there's a bunch of different elements too you can throw into a practice that we do all the time. Like we might have a scouting session where we're, going against, a scout team that's mimicking what the team we're going to play that week is going to look like. You can have other elements of like a shooting, obviously you want to make sure the guys are shooting. You want to make sure the D guys are, that can also fall into the positional work as well. But sometimes you might want all players on your team like working on their shooting. So it just depends on, who you're playing that week, how much time you have before the game, what type of rest your team needs. You may have had a grueling schedule like the last couple weeks and played 4 games in the last 7 days. So you guys might just need to get out, do some stick work, get nice and stretched, and get ready for the next game. Whereas, say, you're in the preseason, you got plenty of time, you got 3 weeks before you play your first game or 2 weeks or whatever it may be. Then, you can throw in a bunch of different elements. You can condition them hard. That's another one that you can always, depending on how well conditioned your team is, you can throw some of those elements into your practice plan, run them, whatever it may be. So those are just some of the basic elements of a solid practice plan that I've seen at every program I've been involved with that we have. Get organized, have that daily theme, be clear about your expectations, stick work, have some sort of full field component, break off into positions, and then just compete all the time. So with Coach Miller from BTB Lax, just wanted to talk about how to plan a practice, some of those elements, and we'll talk to you soon in another video. Hey, Coach Miller here again. And did you know that there's just 2 simple things that separate average youth and high school lacrosse players from the elite guys that are ready to go on and play in college and beyond? Yep, just 2 simple things. It's your offhand and your off-ball play. And when I talk about off-ball play, I'm talking about the moves and decisions you make when the ball isn't in your stick. So what we did is we teamed up with college All-American and multiple-time MLL All-Star Mike Kimmel to put together a completely free 45-minute long 3-part training series that's going to show kids and parents exactly why these 2 things are so crucial to playing at the next level. And then Mike is going to walk you through step by step his fixes, the specific things he thinks you should do if you want to become a beast out on the field. Seriously, just listen to this, straight from him.
Well, hey guys, I'm pro lacrosse player Mike Kimmel, and I'm here with Coach Jesse Miller from BTB Lacrosse. While I'm a pro lacrosse player now, I used to be in your shoes not too long ago, and I can definitely say that the 2 mistakes we talk about in these videos are what's absolutely killing your game and not allowing you to get to the next level. If you're the type of youth or high school lacrosse player that struggles with dodging past your defender, getting open, creating easy scoring opportunities, playing rock-solid defense, and even the thought of putting the stick in your offhand makes you sick to your stomach, and you want to become a player that is incredibly hard to defend, jump starts the offense, gets open with ease, scores a ton of goals, can defend any player confidently, and has a ton of fun while doing it, then this training series is for you. And again, I'll tell you as a pro, it's not about being the biggest or strongest guy or being able to shoot the ball 100 miles an hour. It's these 2 simple fixes that are going to make you get to the next level. It's your off-ball play and your offhand. That's it. So that's what this free training is going to fix.
So if you're serious about improving as a player and becoming one of the best guys on your team, getting more playing time, and catching the eye of college coaches and recruiters across the nation, well, you have to see this video training series. And once again, it's completely free. Just click the link in the description of this video and you'll be taken to a page where you just enter in your email and we will instantly send you the links to the training. So go ahead and do it right now and join the thousands of other youth and high school players that have been through Mike's training and are playing some of the best lacrosse of their lives and having a ton of fun doing it. So see you on the other side.